Hello, hello, hello. What's going on this evening, everyone? Dubstep, thank you for the follow. How's everyone doing tonight? So Kaladesh, looking pretty amazing. Oh my goodness. Jay Zoller, Mega, Rollick, Chicken Fajitas, Savage Punch, what's up everyone? Slam Train, thank you for the follow. Goose Slug, everyone, welcome. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Juice Guys, thank you for the follow. So yeah, Kaladesh is looking pretty insane. I don't even know what to make of it. It looks so crazy. I mean, Chandra is of a lower power level than Jace for a couple reasons, but one of them is Jace is blue, and as far as Legacy is concerned, being blue is a pretty big deal. Why is the chat not on the screen? What are you doing, chat? Oh, I see. There's the chat. MTG NJ, thank you for the follow. Oh, yes. Best Chandra ever printed. That's pretty true. Returning Dawn. Yeah, there was a bit of error with that. I sent out another one. Hopefully it fixes it. When I initially sent it out, I put in like the deck number from MTG Goldfish. Thank you everyone for the follows. So many follows. Thank you, thank you. I missed a couple names, but big appreciation. Yeah, so I was missing a number apparently from the deck list. So it was one number off, and apparently that took me to a Pauper Burn deck instead of our super crazy Evolutionary Gifts deck for Modern. Is Death and Taxes a good deck to start off with in Legacy? Yeah, I think so. Lyco Drake, thank you for the follow. No, I think that Chandra is very good, and I think it's an extremely good card. I think people are just underestimating what it takes for a card to be $60. It's sold out on Star City at $60. $60! And seriously, I can count on one hand the number of standard legal cards that have been $60. Jace, and that's essentially it. 2 Jaces. And the second one was only $60 because of fetch lands. Expired Jellybean and someone else, thank you for the follow. Will I play some Owling Mind update deck? Yes. Owling Mind won last week's instant deck text, so it will be this week's Much Brew About Nothing. Spinefiz, thank you for the follow. Thoughts on Snapcaster Gearhawk? Oh, I am so down to talk spoilers tonight. Alright, save your spoiler questions, because I really want to talk spoilers, but I also want to get this league kicked off, because this deck is crazy, and I think it might take a little while, because there's just so many one-ofs, and so many choices to make with this deck. I think Voice of Resurgence will very likely be in Modern Masters 17. Liliana actually wasn't during Standard. She was $20, $25 for most of the time, and climbed up to like $40-ish at her peak. So this is what we got going on. So we will talk spoilers, all that stuff, anything you all want to talk about. Hey, thank you, guy watching my stream. But first, let's talk about this deck. Get the reminders out of the way, of course. So, old streams, like the one where we got wrecked by Deflecting Palm, after casting and ultimating a million Planeswalkers on the MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube, so you can check your old ones there. And then, of course, if you're looking to support the stream and support the site, you can pick up a sweet playmat, Commander Clash playmat, the old school original playmat. Also, t-shirts are back in stock, and there's some super awesome new merch that is on the way. I can't tell you what it is yet, I'm not at liberty to describe it, but it's got some of the sweetest fish art yet. So if you're looking for the goldfish, still unnamed goldfish, in some awesome new places, you are going to love the new merch. Alpha Sloth, thank you for the follow. All right, so this deck, so we can actually get into the league. Creature, thank you for the follow. This deck is just super insane. It is crazy. So basically, we got a million one-ofs throughout the entire deck. We have Gifts Ungiven. The main combo is Gifts Ungiven. No, we're just starting, Vicious. So, Gifts Ungiven, we can search up Unburial Rites and one other creature, like a Wormcoil, a Grave Titan, or an Elish Norn, most likely, but also, like, a combo piece like Archangel of Thune, a Sigarda against a Liliana. So we got so many options. So that's kind of combo one. Combo two is we also have Eldritch Evolutions that we can sack like Kitchen Finxes to get Thrag Tusks and stack Thrag Tusks to get Elish Norns. But we just have a million weird one-ofs. Scavenging Ooze and Anafenza for graveyards. Reflector Mage to bounce something, Resto to blink our Reflector Mage, Spike Feeder, and Archangel of Thune. Just ridiculousness. So much stuff going on in this deck. We are not dredging. This is Evolutionary Gifts. So, yeah. And then basically, as far as the sideboard, we can maximize on gifts, which are good in control-y matchups with lots of removal and counters since it's instant speed. Thank you, everyone, for the follows that I've missed. We can maximize on Eldritch Evolution in other matchups where we kind of got free reign to do it. We can customize our targets. Terrastodon blows up Planeswalkers and lands. Iona locks, like, mono-red out of the game. A bunch of just random jank Spellskites, Gaddock Teagues for Infect, and, like, to shut out Wraths. Linvala for elves, Lockout Storm, Lockout Fetchlands, even a Shriekmaw. So, yeah, basically pick every creature-based combo in Modern, jam a couple gifts in your deck, and and see what happens. Yeah, there's no Malira combo in this one, but there probably should be. Alright, so we're going to jump into a league with this, see how it goes. So now we can talk spoilers. I think the Mythic Snapcaster Mage is actually really sweet. I mean, it's obviously not Snapcaster Mage. It's 6 mana. The upside of that card is it's 6 mana. It still has flash. The downside, it can only flash back an instant. Upside, though, is there's no converted mana cost restriction. Like, you can flash back any instant you want to, which is actually pretty sweet. What do I think of... What are you doing to me, Moto? It's not a better Snapcaster. I would not go that far. It's clearly worse than Snapcaster, but it does some things that Snapcaster doesn't really do, as far as flashing back really big expensive things, which is actually pretty sweet. So that aspect of it is really cool. But overall, Snapcaster is a much better card. I think it's playable, though, in Standard at least. Alright, so Evolutionary Gifts, play points. The flashback for free is sweet, so you can do some really big, expensive things. Yes, it is the same cost as Snapcaster Cryptic. The thing you lose, though, is the ability to just, like, Ambush Viper your Snapcaster, which you can't really do with this one. So, having to pay 6 mana all the time, and not being able to, like, Snapcaster a Thought Scour for 3 mana will make it hard in Modern to actually play it. The command is actually just deck. I should change it so decklist works too, because a lot of people type that. Going well, Snork. I'm still saying your name wrong, aren't I? Is Enter the Infinite an instant, though? Someone else said that, and I was like, oh, that would be so sweet, but I don't think... Is it an instant? I would actually have to double check, because I could be wrong. but it feels like a sorcery. Out of the cards spoiled so far, which one am I most excited to brew around? So there's actually a lot of cards I'm excited to brew around in this set. This set looks super awesome. We have, let's see. Let me pull it up here, because I know I will get the names wrong if I'm not actually looking at it. The one that sticks out right away is Metallurgic Summonings. I think Metallurgic Summonings is actually really sweet. We've seen payoff cards that make creatures whenever you cast like an instant or sorcery, but I haven't seen anything that is this powerful before. Like, what was the Goblin thing that LSV famously did a draft of? Do you remember that card? You make like a 1/1 Goblin whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. It was in Cons. This is like that card, except a legit finisher. What do I think about the Puzzle Knot Aetherworks Marvel combo in Standard? Alright, let me see what Puzzle Knot is. I don't think the bot has... Alright, Woodreaver's Puzzle Knot. Okay. That is what I thought it was. So basically you can get 6 energy and gain a bunch of life for the cost of 5 mana over the course of a couple of turns. So that gives you enough mana that you can activate Aetherworks Marvel. I'm more interested in being able to repeatedly use Aetherworks Marvel. If there's a way to make enough energy that you can activate it every turn, that I think could be the basis of a really successful deck. Just as a one-shot, I think it's kind of... I've seen enough people whiff on Collected Companies that I don't know if I'd want to build my deck around one-shotting Aetherworks Marvel, because it's just so risky. If you expend all your resources to do that one time and it doesn't work out, you're going to be in real trouble. Huh? The deck name says Dredge? I'm so confused. Where does it say Dredge? Evolutionary Gifts in Modern. Oh, if you do the deck command, it says Dredge? Am I just having all kinds of... No, it says Evolutionary Gifts. Where does it say Evolutionary Dredge? Oh, on the screen. Okay, yeah. Alright, I can change that. I see what you're talking about now. I gotcha. I got you covered. Yes, it does say Evolutionary Dredge, doesn't it? Alright, fixed. It is fixed. Oh, I don't know if I can actually change that. That sounds like too much work. Oh, I don't want to make a whole new overlay. Alright, well, here we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Problem solved. That's a little easier than making another overlay. DB, thank you for the follow. Alright, so this hand's fine. We can ramp into a Wormcoil Engine. Is everyone happy now? Problem solved. Problem evolved. Oh. This hand looks... Oh. Well, man, if we can somehow get down a Wormcoil before we die, this should be insane. Oh, and a Steel Overseer. Blade Splicer is not bad. Let's crack Windswept Teeth, get a Forest. Oh, our mana is so crazy in this deck. Dumb, thank you for the follow. Birds of Paradise, pass the turn. I think we're somewhat okay. Hopefully our opponent does not also have Cranial Plating or Ravager. I was the one who tweeted about the new Blue Hulk and Enter the Infinite in Modern. You combo couple with wind, part of flipping our deck in the yard, and the rest of our hand from casting Enter the Infinite. I'm going to look up Enter the Infinite right now. Is that really an instant? If that's really an instant, that's insane. Enter the Infinite is a sorcery, in fact, so that combo doesn't actually work, even though it's super sweet. I wish it worked, because it sounds awesome. Alright, so we take 3 here, and then I think we're just going to Reflector Mage the Steel Overseer. Hopefully. Hopefully they can't bolt our bird. Oh, God. Well, that's bad. Birds of Paradise. Breeding Pool tapped. Oh, that Galvanic Blast is going to kill us. Thank you for the follow, Zach. And other people who I'm sure I missed. Oh, man. I don't even think we have sideboard cards. We have 4 colors, can play anything possible. And I don't think we have any good affinity hate. What do you think about there being 2 Chandras and 2 Nissas in the same set? So that's one of the new changes. Instead of intro decks, they're gonna have these Planeswalker decks, which, I mean, I guess are cool. It feels a little weird to have them be the same exact Planeswalkers that are in the set, but the idea is they're going to be kind of overcosted, casual cards, and not real constructed cards. We'll see. Yeah, our opponent's draw was very good. Yeah, for some reason, I don't think we have Kataki. We have a... probably our best bet in this matchup is just to get an Elish Norn out. Elish Norn is pretty much game over if we can do it fast enough. So now we're going to have to start chumping. There's probably still some chance that we can get to Wormcoil. It's getting less likely, though. Oh, God. Plating? Yeah, we're in serious trouble now. Now we can't even really tap our birds because it's going to have to chump Ornithopter. Is there anything in our deck we can even draw? At this point? Not especially. Archangel might be alright. What do we need? I guess we get white-black? Godless Shrine? There's a Grave Titan. Thanks for the follow, Kim. Alright. We'll play Athalia. Slow our opponent down. Windswept Heath, go. Yeah, we're pretty dead here, unfortunately. I hope to live the dream of limited of 2 modules and 2 Whisperweave Angels for infinite power. Yeah, that would be sweet. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that we're against a super aggressive deck and drawing mono 6-drops. Makes a tapped Blink Moth. Pumps everything up. Once they equip the Ornithopter, I think we're just dead. Oh, what was the question? Does... Legendary shall have a chance in Standard. Sky Sovereign has me super hyped. What do you think, having played the optimal Naya Legends deck? Yeah, I think that deck still has a chance. The power level of the deck is there. Geidel, thank you for the follow. The Kaladesh does look awesome, D-Many. The issue is... Man... I guess we can wait another turn. The main issue is we just don't really know what's going to come in Kaladesh or what the format will look like. But in the dark, I think the cards are there for the legendary deck to still be playable. Ugh. Just too slow. Alright, Blade Splicer. At 1 life, past the turn. When I play High Tide in Legacy, it's pretty budget. Maybe. I mean, I would play High Tide in Legacy. The deck looks cool. The main issue is... Yeah, we're dead here if they just attack. We can't pass 2 things. Alright. We're dead. It's just really hard to make budget Legacy in a way people feel is budget. I actually have a budget legacy deck tech coming up soon for a legacy deck that actually top aided a super IQ and was like 150 bucks. So that was pretty sweet. What was the other question? Welcome, Damnation. Yeah, we don't do a lot of bannings here. I think there was one person in the history of this channel, or the stream, that has gotten banned, if I remember right. If you were here for that, you probably remember too, because it was super over the top. The new format of Chandra is very strong. I think it is very good. I think it is way overhyped and overpriced at $60, but I think it is legitimately easily the best Chandra ever made and a very, very good Planeswalker. There was another question here, and I can't find it. Yes, the Fastlands are super exciting. Penny Dreadful. I don't think it was Cookie Town, the town that I most want to live in. Oreoville, maybe. Penny Dreadful, yeah, Penny Dreadful is sweet. I still haven't played it, but I've had several people talk to me about it. And I do plan on checking it out as far as actually playing it when I get some time. And maybe, if I enjoy it, doing a primer on it or something. Some sort of something on it for Goldfish. So, actually, I should probably sideboard here. Sideboarding seems like a good idea against this deck. I think we want to maximize on Gifts, Linvala, Elish Norn. We can go down Grave Titan. Isn't that exciting? Our life gain stuff is good. Our flyers are fine-ish, although Resto might just be better than Sigarda since it has Flash. Birds are fine, Mana Dorks are fine. Voice, I guess, is double blockers. Thalia is not super exciting. Eternal Witnesses. Spike Feeder gains life. Reflector Mage. Can probably go down in Offenza. Maybe go down in Eldritch Evolution. And one more cut in the next 16 seconds. We'll go down the Sylvan Caryatid. Try it like that. Alright. We sideboarded without running out of time. Victory. Penny Dreadful is a Magic Online format where the only cards that are legal are cards that are literally a penny. I think Binary Swordsman, actually. I emailed you back today, Binary Swordsman. Actually started the format, right, Binary? So yeah, I've seen it on the subreddit, seen some people talking about it. It sounds pretty interesting. Alright, we'll try this. Not awesome, but we have some big life gainers. Hopefully our birds live. Yeah, I am super tardy at responding to emails sometimes. It does look like Chandra the Mind Sculptor. Traus, yeah, sorry about that. For some reason, if the title of the stream isn't updated in time, it posts the last stream name in the email. So I think that one's on me. Oh, thank you, Love2MTG. Well, I'm glad you like the content. Alright, Vault Scourge, sure. So I think we're just going to... Ooh, Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta. Get a... hopefully a basic. I don't really want to pay life, but we need white mana. Blue-green. Let's get a Godless Shrine, I guess, unfortunately. Get a Godless Shrine, untapped. Oh, this mana base is hurting us. And then we're just going to Eternal Witness to get back Polluted Delta. So we have a land drop for next turn. Yeah, the Facebook pic, there's a long story behind that, actually. Actually, it's not that long. It's just a misclick. They ever finish up that article about sending in the near mint pack fresh, non-near mint pack fresh card to Wizards to be replaced? I have not. Opponent gets in for 1. Do I think I'll do an against the odds for the module cycle? That seems like something that will definitely be on the poll. What does it mean to subscribe and how do I do it? So, I don't think you can actually subscribe to the Twitch, but if you want to subscribe, there's a link below where you can subscribe on MTG Goldfish. Hey, Adam and Aaron. It's like $6 a month, and you get access to some really sweet collection management tools and so forth. Also, if you are looking for a way to support the stream and the site, picking up like a playmat or a t-shirt is also a great way of doing that. Alright, so now we just Kitchen Finks to gain back life. So we go back up to 16. I think we're actually in good shape here. Get in with Eternal Witness. Am I going to do an infinite something bad resto combo deck? That also seems like something we do on Against the Odds. So most likely. I still need to make a post video answering frequently asked questions from the stream. That is a good idea to have a FAQ somewhere. What do I think about the playability of vehicles in Standard? Honestly, I'm a little bit skeptical. I think that some of them might be playable, but overall, I'm a little skeptical that they're going to be that playable. Ugh. Hey, thank you, Drum. Do I know where I can rent an MTGO deck? No. Probably the easiest way to do it, with or without plan, thank you for the follow. Probably the easiest way to do it is if you just put some amount of money into Magic Online, buy a deck, and then when you're done with it, you can sell it for a small percentage loss and either get actual cash back or use that to buy another deck. So that's probably the easiest way. Because it's so cheap to do that, I haven't seen many actual or any actual like deck rental services or anything. Yeah, maybe I should have just killed the Steel Overseer there. I think it's fine though. Marcus, thank you for the follow. Activates Inkmoth Nexus. Pumps up the Dorks. Plays a Mountain. I don't think Spare Deck works for Magic Online, though. Opponent gets in for 3. Down to 13. And Whip Flare. Oh, that's very bad. Now we might actually be losing, then. Get a Plains. Oh, that's so bad. We lose all our stuff. Yeah, they do rent paper decks. I do know that. Well, we gotta kill Overseer. Now I'm definitely regretting not killing the Overseer last turn. If I had known about Whip Flare. We're still not really dead, though, because we have Archangel of Thune, which is a pretty great roadblock, into, hopefully, Wormcoil if we draw one more land. And then all of a sudden, we're still in pretty good shape. And we're only taking 3 here. My Twitter is Saffron Olive, as is my email. This is a song named, oh my goodness, Quai Panacea? I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. By a band called Lost Sundayers. Welcome to the live stream, Fabio. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe it would be better to use it to try to get something with a cranial plating, but it looks like it would have been better just to kill it. Alright, Craig Pluta Delta. Blue, white, white, black, black. So I guess we get Overgrown Tomb. Well, there's a land. Alright, so we're kind of still in this. Unless our opponent can, like, Galvanic Blast our Archangel, then things would look a little bit more grim. But there's Archangel. Nothing too crazy with or without plan. We just kind of have fun, play Magic. If you have any questions of things you want to ask or talk about, suggestions, I'm always here to talk about them. Mostly a time for us to just hang out and have fun, play some Magic, interact, but nothing like super crazy. Come on, no Galvanic Blast. Vault Scourge, sure, is not Galvanic Blast. Ooh, things are looking up. So now we get a Worm Coil. And that should hopefully be the end of the line for our opponent. That's just so much life gain. Can we attack? We attack. Our opponent, say they have cranial plating. We're still fine. I think we can attack here. Get in with Archangel. Have I tried the green-white angels list with Evolutionary Leap? I have not yet. How do I feel about Chandra the Fire Sculptor? I think that Chandra the... Oh, okay. Torch of Defiance. I'm confused. I am also confused because of the two Chandras today. So you're talking about Torch of Defiance. I think Torch of Defiance is very strong. It will be very good, I believe. Well, I don't know about high level, but I do enjoy talking, and I can still somewhat play without making a complete fool of myself most of the time. Wait. Turtle time? When did I say turtle time? Do I think Naya... What? Naya Evolution deck I built will be playable after rotation. I believe so. I would have to think about it a little, but whoa! Got there! We had a whole deck built around this combo. We never got there. And now we play this deck that isn't necessarily built around it, and we just luck into the combo. Good game. Opponent, thank you for playing. So this combo is so sweet. We just remove a counter to gain life, which triggers our Archangel, puts a counter on everything. And we can do that about 1,000,000 times. Yes, we did get them. The only thing is they could still technically win with Infect, so we got to be aware of that. So let's just go with Worm Coil. Our opponent's going to have to block. Yeah, we'll leave back Archangel. But if we leave back Archangel, I don't think they need, like... I don't think they can do it. Wow, they didn't block? Oh, okay. Well, then they just die right now, then. I figured they would at least chump here, because they did still have a path to victory with Inkmoth, but they didn't even chump. Because they could have drawn, like, plating, and they have black mana, so if they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts, I think a plating would beat us. Well, not next turn, but in 2 turns it could beat us if they put it on whatever Inkmoth was unblocked. But we got there. Yeah, that combo is much quicker than some of the combos. You don't have to click like 1,000,000 times. It goes pretty fast on Magic Online. The Delicious Waffles, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they thought it was Sorcery Speed. That was really odd not to just chump there. Well, that was pretty lucky. We only have one of each combo piece. that was game 2. I can update the record. So we are 1-1 in this match. Match 1 of our Evolutionary Gifts League. So watching World Magic Championship this weekend, I think you should play Bant. BBD deck had a turn where just sat behind a bunch of cards on stupid board state and drew cards until found a win condition. Yeah. That you're probably right. I guess the good news is it's going to be over shortly. No more. I think Bant will still be around, but no more Collected Company is going to make it a lot better. Am I excited for oh no, Amaketh? I'm going to say so. Oh god. I don't know if any of you go to Reddit, but actually the top post on the Magic TCG Reddit a few days ago was talking about how many words I'm going to butcher over the next 2 sets. And that is a really legitimate point. Going from Kaladesh to an Egyptian set. Ooh, can we do this? We got a Path, we got a Rex Sage, we got Engineered Explosives. The only downside is Unburial Rites is in our hand? Vehicles is sort of like banding. Alright, let's keep it. Oh man, cat? No way. Kaladesh. What is my favorite 1 converted mana cost creature with a collector's number under 50? Oh my goodness. So it's got to be a white or colorless 1 converted mana cost creature. I do not even know. The collector's number is throwing me off. Khandra Ablaze. Alright, Memnite. Oh man. What's our opponent have? Cranial Plating. Alright. Let's crack this. I actually think we're pretty far ahead this game. Kaladesh is interesting. I think it's an interesting take on an artifact set. I'm not sold on vehicles being really constructed worthy, but we'll see. It could be better than I think. Could we get an against the odds at some point with only underrepresented tribals? I vote for Vashino. I really would like to do a tribal series. I haven't figured out exactly how to do it yet, but I think it would be sweet to do an all tribal series where different tribal decks play against each other. I've talked about some of this stuff before. The main issue or challenging part of it is I have to figure out a partner in crime, essentially. Someone else that will do this stuff with me. Because most of the content I do, I can just do on my own against whatever random players happen to be on Moto. But for that, I would actually need a second player. So that's the sticking point that makes it harder. Get a camel to drive a car. That's a good standard goal. I think we're just going to get rid of this Gurapur Ether Grid. Yeah, Tomer would be a fun person to do it with. Alright, opponent kills our Rex Age, whatever. But we get rid of the Ether Grid. Pass the turn. Our opponent only has 2 cards. We're not that far away from Unburial Rites. And we have an Engineered Explosives. Ooh, Etch Champion. Interesting. And Ornithopter. Wow, can we get the full blowout? 1, 2, 3, 1. I think we can kill this Etch Champion. Our opponent attacks. Oh, I want to keep our voice alive. So let's think about this. Next turn, we take 6, drop to 13. We untap Explosives on 0, crack it. kill Ornithopter, Memnite, Mox Opal. Our opponent goes down to 1/2 artifacts. They can't animate Blink Moth. Then we can just Path Etch Champion. I think that works. So I think we're going to take our beats here, actually. Because if we block, then we'll lose our token when we engineered explosives on 0. Yeah, I think this actually should win us the game. So, explosives on 0. We can't get rid of the Glimmer Void because of this cranial plating, unfortunately. But this is still pretty good. We're going to put our opponent down to basically nothing. And we have to path now because if we wait, then they can animate Blink Moth as protection. So even though we give our opponent a land, which is not ideal, that's better than waiting. Alright, that was good. That was a blowout. Emrakul can pilot anything. I've heard a lot of people talking about Lupin Prototype, too, as a good pilot, which is true. Kaladesh's trial video is the bright, safe, and possible MTG ever have. Another Vault Scourge. Oh, and another plating. That's a lot of platings. Well, let's get in with Voice of Resurgence. Oh, and we didn't draw land. Ugh. Alright, let's Birds of Paradise. We're still kind of in a risky spot here thanks to this Vault Scourge. If they double equip, it's going to have a lot of power and toughness. We really need... opponent has Thoughtseize. We need to get mana for this Unburial Rites. One am I most excited to brew around? I mentioned earlier Metallurgic Summonings I really like, but this set actually has a lot of cards that look really cool. There's some sweet artifacts. The Module Cycle sweet. The big Snapcaster Flash thing is pretty sweet. Madcap Experiment is a really sweet against the odds kind of card. Get Blightsteel or something. I haven't really figured out the best thing to get with it, but it's got to be sweet. There's something cool that we can do with it. The triggered ability card that doubles triggered abilities is sweet. Gurupur Ori is really cool. So there's a bunch of cards I'm excited to build around. Have I considered putting him to Emrakul on Against the Odds? I don't even know what that is. Is that a real card? Is that the new Hymn to Torok? Is that what it is? Can we afford to take our beats here? Maybe? We drop to 6? We drop to 6. If we draw land, we can Rexage, kill this, but then they animate, equip, 1, 2, 3, then we're dead? Yeah, I think we actually gotta chump here and hope we draw something. We really need lands. Oh, this is not good. Man. Oh, I felt like we were in such great shape this game too, and now we're in horrible shape. We just haven't drawn enough lands. That's very bad. Oh. Opponent moves over a plating. gets in for 10. I don't even know if we have outs, honestly. I don't know if that was a horrible block with the birds. If we take it though, we're dead. What is our goal? See you, Paranorma Activa. So we take the damage, we drop to 3, we unburial rights our Reclamation Sage, die to Blink Moth. There's just, if we don't block there, we're just literally dead. We're not even drawing to any outs at that point. So that's the game. Yep. Alright. Well, I think that Affinity is a relatively challenging matchup. It's mostly just disappointing because we got so far ahead. Oh, alright. Well, if we had taken the hit, though, we would have dropped all the way to 6. And then we play the Finks, we go back up to 8. And then we're just chumping with the birds again next turn. That's the thing, because if we didn't chump there, then we still wouldn't really be able to use the birds for mana. Because without the birds as a chump blocker, we'd be dead on board. So it's not like we could... It's not like we could birds into Kitchen Finks the following turn, because we'd have to have birds for a chump blocker. So we still couldn't really use it for mana, because we'd be putting ourselves to the point where we would be dead to our opponent's flying attackers. If you're having screen flickering problems, most of what I've heard from people is if you go to the little gear icon and set video quality to source, then those problems go away. Alright, off to a wonderful 0-1 start. Not ideal, but that's alright. Why did I hit the ether grid and not the plating? Well, we had birds that we wanted to play. So we just never would have been able to play birds if we left the ether grid alive. We could have Unburial Rights back Rex Sage. The problem is they had 2 flying attackers. So if we Unburial Rights back the Rex Sage, we would have to tap out, and our opponent's Blink Moth Nexus would have still represented lethal. So I really think that the issue there was just our mana situations. That's true. Things can only go up from here. Have I ever went 0-5? In my life, I'm sure I have. Actually, I don't even know. Because if I wasn't streaming and I got to maybe 0-4, I'd probably just drop anyway. But I guess that would count as an 0-5. I don't think on stream we've ever went 0-5, though. I think the worst we've ever done, maybe we've had a stream where we only won once, but I can't remember. We've definitely went 2-3 a few times. Sanu, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we couldn't get rid of quite all the artifacts, unfortunately. Yeah, this hand is solid. I like this hand. Yeah, it's just Birds of Paradise, Hallowed Fountain. We're even going to be able to set up potentially for a quick Gifts Ungiven, which could be pretty good here. Seems like a quick Grave Titan, maybe, is the best option against Eldrazi, depending exactly on what their hand exactly ends up being. Now, there's Windswept Heath. Well, I think we just go for it. Let's just pass the turn. We're still a little weak to Path. Maybe it's better just to slam a Siege Rhino here and wait. See if we can get them to path the Siege Rhino and then go on the gifts plan after that. Blue, white, green, black. So I think we want black, green, I guess. Went 0-5 with the mono blue Tron deck. Lots of 1-2 losses. Combination of bad matchups, bad draws, and bad piloting. Don't play modern usually. Yeah, and Tron decks in general have been kind of on the downswing. If the audio is quiet, I can turn up the audio. So make sure to let me know if that is an issue. The music I tend to try to keep quiet, but just another thank you for the follow. Alright, Siege Rhino down. This is a song by the name of Savage Orb by Constellations. What's up, Get? How goes it tonight? Do I think Kaladesh will become new Phyrexia? Because Eldrazi had to be dealt with, but Phyrexia is not yet. Maybe. It's possible that we see Phyrexians. So far, we lost a super close game to Affinity. Well, thank you, Big. I will have to look into that. If the content is quiet, then I will see about raising the volume level. Let's get in with Siege Rhino. That's true. School starts. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, let's just pass in gifts here. Tezzeret is on Kaladesh. He is apparently the judge of the Inventors Fair. That is true. It has been confirmed that we have Tezzeret. I expect it'll be next set, I think, as far as actually seeing Tezzeret, but... Alright, well, we definitely have free reign here to gifts, which might mean this is going to be a quick game. We gifts. We get... I guess we just Elish Norn. That's gotta be the smartest play here. Just get Elish Norn and our Unburial Rights. Opponent has to put both in the graveyard. What's my thoughts on Chandra Torch of Defiance? I would not want to buy Chandra Torch of Defiance at $60, but I think it's a very strong card. Yes, more Nicole Bolas, which is sweet. I really like Nicole. I really like Tezzeret too, so there's a lot of Planeswalkers coming up that I'm excited about. And our opponent scoops it up to the old fail-to-find trick. Can you post a link to a song? As long as it's to a safe place, like a YouTube type place, not some weird website, then that's fine. What's the difference between this deck and the Kiki Cord deck? Well, the main difference is this is really a Gifts Ungiven deck. Like, yeah, there's a couple Eldritch Evolutions, but the main plan A of this deck is Gifts Ungiven, get the Unburial Rights, reanimate something big in the early game and do that. Yeah, Chandra was sold out on Star City Games at $60 earlier today. Oh man, vicious. So the next Commander Clash coming out, you're not going to want to miss it. We decided, I think I told you before, we're going to do all the same commander. So everyone plays the same commander, but each builds a different build of the deck. So it turns out that the commander we chose was Feldergriff. So next Commander Clash episode is mono Feldergriffs all across the board from everyone. It is going to be pretty insane. It is pretty insane. We already recorded it. And it is just a ridiculous game of Commander. All Feldergriffs had to be like the worst idea I ever had. It's sweet though. We kept it to like 4.5. No, I think it was actually like 2.5 hours, something like that, by the time we actually got it done. I don't know how long it is once Tomer finished editing it, but it was very interesting. I know you're good at predicting the next videos, Vicious. What do I think about Torrential Gearhulk? Is that the blue one? The Snapcaster one? I like the Snapcaster one. Do we have anything for Eldrazi? I guess I should pay attention to our deck for a second. Shriekmaw seems good. Man, I always give myself so little time for actual sideboarding. We can go down that. Thalia actually seems good in this matchup. Maybe go up Eldritch Evolution for Scavenging Ooze. Linvala for a Sigarda. Try it like that. Shriekmaw. Oh, the white Gearhawk. Is it the white Gearhawk? So, the Gearhawks we've seen so far, white Gearhawk, I don't think is that great. I think it's fine, but I don't think it's as good as people think because it gives your opponent the choice on that card. So, it's a lot different than the Wrath that I can't think of at the moment that just won the World Championship. This is like toolbox combo deck. Gearhawk, whatever. So I think the white one is the worst of the ones we've seen so far, in my opinion. So white would be at the bottom of the list. Then green and blue, I think, are actually pretty good. The green one is a lot of... Yes, Tragic Arrogance. Thank you, Speed. I don't know why I spaced on that. It's a pretty common card. If this is Thought Knot, I guess we're going to have to path it in response, unfortunately. Not really ideal. But if they take the path, this is just going to be so slow. We haven't seen black and red ones, have we? Well, let's see what our opponent takes. It's got to be... I don't know. One of our cheap things. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can make it an 8/8 trample, which is very above the curve, or you can dump those counters on something else to essentially be like 4 haste damage, is actually makes that a very strong card, I think. I think that one's pretty good. My only question is, like, is it going to be better than the other 5-drops? Like, once you're getting to the 5-drop slot, there's a lot of competition, and when it comes right down to it, it's just a big creature. So if a big creature is good, then that will probably be good. The blue one is unique, but I think it's more either a control card to like Snapcaster back a counter spell and give you a big flash body, or some sort of really janky combo card, maybe in Modern, because I don't know what you flash back in Standard. It seems sweet in a blue-red deck with Goblin Dark Dwellers and just go full-on like flashback tribal. That seems like it could be sweet. The white one, though, I think it'll play worse than it looks. Because when your opponent picks, you either just immediately kill the creature you just cast, or you kill, because you have to kill everything except one creature. And your opponent's going to keep a creature, and I don't think the white Gearhulk is necessarily going to be the biggest creature on the battlefield in all situations. Alright. Tap land, go. It is weird that it's not instants and sorceries, but there's some expensive sorceries that could potentially be pretty broken. So my guess is that's the reason why. Ugh. Thalia would have been nice before Reality Smasher came down. No, we played a land. Our opponent just got ramped because of... Our opponent was on the play and got ramped thanks to our Path to Exile. So we haven't skipped our turn, but we're getting pretty close to dying to this Reality Smasher. I guess there's a chance we could Eldritch Evolution Shriekmaw to kill a Reality Smasher. I do like the Sunflower Plains. It is one of the best. Yeah, there's just some really broken things with it being sorcery. As far as instants, it's a lot harder to find something that's really insane. Even just like time warp effects would be really crazy if you could flashback sorceries. A Matter Reshaper. And a Plains. I mean, I guess we do that. That wasn't exactly what I was trying to do, but this might be okay. Pass the turn. If we can stay alive, maybe something good happens. There's the path. All right. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're dead. I don't think it really made a difference. If they had path, we were dead there anyway. I was thinking of playing Marsh Flats, sacking for a Shriekmaw, sacking our Thalia, but I don't think it would have really mattered if our opponent had path. We weren't going to be a path there anyway. Can you flashback Spreading Flames in Standard? Might be nice. Engulf the Shore, Eerie Interlude, Displacer. Yeah, there are some cool things to flashback. That is true. Do we need to change anything? Could bring in Spellskite. I guess it blocks Matter Reshaper. I don't know if that's worth it. Reflector Mage seems alright. Witness. Thalia. We could go down Blade Splicer. That's true. The 1-mana blue colorless counter is very strong. That's one thing I'm really... the Cooter, thank you for the follow. That's one thing I'm really excited for in this set is it looks like it has some of the best uncommons I've seen in a long time. The 2-mana Gruul energy thing, that's like a 3-2 and can become a 4-3 with trample for 2 turns in a row when it attacks. That card is super strong. Alright, this hand's good. Get a bit of ramp, a Kitchen Finks to stabilize, witness something back. All around, I think this hand's pretty good. Voltaic Brawler, very good. That's the card. We're talking about Eldritch Moon. Thank you for the follow, someone. Sorry if I messed up your name. Cotter? Is that better? Ooh, and a Thragtusk. Alright, this hand is really shaping up. As long as we don't get hit by Thought Knot here, and even if we do... Well, they have Eldrazi Temple. Oh, just a Matter Reshaper? Alright, so we're doing fine. And a Gifts. Interesting. This is really interesting. Josh, thank you for the follow. It seems like there's going to be... Oh, Coder, okay. Oh, is Wedge here? What's up, Wedge? So So can we... We can pass and try to gifts and set up on burial rites for Iona, or not Iona, Elish Norn. Oh. The problem is, we can get force spiked by Stubborn Denial. But they didn't play a 4-drop, so it seems possible that their plan's going to be Reality Smasher. But then we're taking a ton of damage. Alright, let's just play this. Let's just play this fairly. Let's crack Marsh Flats. I think this is fine. Crack Marsh Flats. Get a blue black source for Grave Titan. Green, white, black. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll get it tapped. Then we're just going to Eternal Witness. Get back Marsh Flats. And then this way, we're guaranteed, essentially, to have a Thragtusk next turn. And Thragtusk is pretty good. So what's going on, Wedge? Do you have a ton of spoiler videos coming out, I'm sure? So many sweet cards. Alright, we'll just take 4 here. Down to 15. This also... Oh, no. Double Eldrazi Temple? There's Drowner of Hope. Ooh, there's Shriekmaw, though. Shriekmaw's sweet. Well, let's crack this, get a basic, and maybe we just Shriekmaw, actually, to kill Drowner. That might be better than Thragtusk here, and then Thragtusk next turn? I think that's fine. Double Eldrazi Temple, so good for these Eldrazi decks. If they have a second Drowner, then we're suddenly in really scary shape. I watched some of the Professor's interviews. I don't think I actually watched the Mark Rosewater one. Choco Bow Child, thank you for the follow. Is this Ancient Stirrings? Thoughts on Leovold being $150? It's kind of crazy. That is very true. Alright, let's just chump here. Eternal Witness isn't going to do much anyway. What's up, Studliest? Gazemon, thank you for the follow. Brushland. Does our opponent have something else huge? Eldrazi Displacer. Alright. Not too scary with what they have on... Ooh, and a Path. Path is nice. But I think we're just going to Thragtusk here. Go back up to 19. Get a very good blocker. Bonk Dog, thank you for the follow. So Leovold at $150. Conspiracy foils have traditionally been really expensive. And so in some ways it makes sense. Oh no. They have the Eldrazi Displacer combo set up. They can take our Path. Well, now I guess we should have just killed the Displacer if we knew things were going to go like this. Alright, opponent gets in for 4. I think we take it this time. We gotta get rid of this Displacer. That's number 1 on our list. And if we block, then our opponent can just blink Thragtusk token, and then we get nothing. Well, let's play a Siege Rhino. The problem is our opponent very likely could have Stubborn Denial here as their last card. So we'd like them to, like, tap out before they do anything. Alright, Siege Rhino comes down. Puts us back up to 18. Then I think we attack. If our opponent wants to trade with either of their cards, that's fine. They're just going to chump with a Scion. That's also fine. And pass the turn. See if we can get our opponent to tap out or tap down. Gets in 4/5 with Thought Knot. Sure. We want them to tap their blue mana. Displacer to blink Thought Knot. Alright. Well, I guess we gotta go for it now then. I think they have Stubborn Denial though. Yep, there's Stubborn Denial. Alright. So we draw a card, then they get to take something else from our hand. And they can do this multiple times in the same turn. Commander Clash idea, each of you four make a video with your followers for subscribers, same rule, ticks, etc. Make a video, so like do it like on stream or something, make it with followers, because we've done weeks where we play viewer submitted decks. Yeah, I had a feeling that they likely had the Stubborn Denial, but there just wasn't much we could do about it. Are they just gonna blink again here? Blinks again, getting rid of our second gifts, I assume. Ooh, we draw a Path though. Path is a huge draw. Now they probably have to take Path, honestly. They do not take Path. They're tapped out of... Oh, they're out of cards. Sweet. Well, we got our Path back. So now I think we just win. Leovold actually top 8'd the Legacy event. Oh, they're going to sack a Scion? This is risky, though, because now what are they going to do? How are they going to block our stuff? We get a Thalia. Our opponent's going to take our Path. We draw a Polluted Delta. Well, I think we just attack with both. Opponent's going to trade off with Thragtusk. What do they get from Matter Reshaper? A Breeding Pool. Alright. We get a token that they can get rid of, but then we... Let's see. I think we just play both. Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta. If we get an island, can we cast both? Island, plains, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should work. So then run Thalia out there. Run a Kitchen Finks out there. And, I mean, see if our opponent can beat us, essentially. They need a big draw. We're in pretty decent shape. Just blinking Thought Knots over and over again isn't going to get there. They can blink our token to get rid of it. Yep, they do that. But if they, like, attack with Thought Knot, we just double block. Get rid of the Thought Knot. Patrick, thank you for the follow. Opponent goes to combat. And if our opponent does nothing, then we keep attacking with Siege Rhino. We draw birds. Well, let's get in with Siege Rhino. Wow. Seriously? Our opponent had one draw step and they drew Path? That is pretty absurd. Opponent blinks Thalia. Oh, what a draw for our opponent. Opponent attacks with Thought Knot. We're going to block with Sylvan Carry added. What did they draw now? We're holding this birds because we really want our opponent to start blinking to try to ruin our draws. Alright, blinks Thought Knot. What do we get? So we want a Path or a Gifts. Resto's actually very good. Run Resto out there. Do we even blink our Kitchen Finks? Or do we just want to attack with both? Make them blink one, attack with one? I think we do not want to blink. So our opponent can take Spike Feeder or Birds. Take Spike Feeder. We get to attack with both. They can double blink if they want, but we gain life from them blinking Kitchen Fang, so it's actually pretty fine. We just have things that aren't very good for them to blink. And we'll run the birds out there as a chump blocker. Opponent gets another Eldrazi Temple, but it's tapped. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Man, our opponent is drawing incredibly well. That was an extremely good draw, though. We actually just top-decked our opponent right back. Now I think we win. Linvala, we're running hot, too. Match a top deck with a top deck. And now Eldrazi Displacer's offline. Drowner of Hope's offline. Oh, sometimes you gotta get a bit lucky. And the new Thalia is a rare, which is part of it. Well, seems like we're in good shape until our opponent top decks a Path and kills our Linvala or a Dismember. Noble Hierarch doesn't do it. Opponent attacks with both. We might as well block with a Maybe we just double block this Thought Knot and be done with it. I think this is fine. This actually draws us a card too, and it gets rid of the Thought Knot combo, even if they draw a path or something. Linvala shuts down mana abilities and everything, so they are shut down regardless. So Finks comes back up to 15. We draw a Windswept Heath, not exciting. Another land. Well, get in with our flyers. Put our opponent to 1. Play a Misty. All right, this is it. Our opponent has to draw a removal for Linvala right here. If not, we manage to out-top deck the top decker. Whoo, and we got there. Jeez, that was a super close match. Whew. All right, so back to 1-1. Stumbled to Affinity round 1. Took down Eldrazi. So that was good. That was a really close match. They might have been out of pass, but I think they potentially have some number of dismembers. What's up, Skull? So what do you think of the Enchantress budget magic? I really like Enchantress. I've been, like I said in the article, I've been trying to build budget magic Enchantress for a long time, but Ghostly Prison just kept keeping it from working. So I was pretty excited to make it happen. There's still some things that you lose by being budget, which, not great, but that's true. With our opponent at 1, Dismember wouldn't have helped. I think it's sweet, and I think you can upgrade it to either into like straight Enchantress or like an Enduring Ideal deck, which is pretty sweet. I've seen some sweet Enduring Ideal decks. None of them have been tier 1, but they're really cool. Oh no, that quote. Yeah, the game against Esper where they ultimated Elspeth twice and had like, I don't even know, they plussed Elspeth so many times, and we did end up losing eventually, but they literally had hundreds of power thanks to Elish Norn and multiple ultimates. This is awkward. We have our Burial Rites in hand. We have a Birds in a path. We're gonna ship this one. Alright, well, we're on the Kitchen Finks plan. Hopefully Kitchen Finks are good in this matchup. Come on, Burn! One time, I want to play against Burn. No. Really? Eldrazi again? What is that, the only deck people play? Well, we beat them last time, but this hand doesn't inspire confidence. Magpie, playtime! Thank you for the follow. Yeah, the 7-card hand was super bad. I don't think that was even close to keepable. Oh, Eldrazi. The power of this deck is so much tied to Eldrazi Temple. Like, when they draw multiple... Well, speak of Eldrazi Temple, they just ripped one off their Ancient Stirrings. When they hit multiple Eldrazi Temples, the deck is very good. But it gets a lot worse when they don't have them. Opponent gets in with the Noble Hierarch. We draw land. Well, Temple Garden, goo. Yeah, I don't really want a Ghost Quarter here. It just doesn't do that much because they're still going to have 4 mana and they're still going to have colorless mana, assuming they have a land drop. So they're still playing big things at this point. Like, it wouldn't keep them off of Thought Knot Seer. Which looks like what's coming down. We do have lots of Kitchen Finks. They're getting less now that our opponent's Thought Knot nodding us. Yeah, Thought Knot does a good job of locking down our Kitchen Finks. Yeah, Bant Eldrazi is very good. That is true. They go with the Grave Titan. Ooh. Well, we kind of have a combo of our own. So we can Kitchen Finks into Kitchen Finks, and then just start using Gavany Township to make sure our Finks never die. We could also draw Path to Exile. Path to Exile would be a good draw. I would be happy with that. Hopefully our opponent does not have Path to Exiles. Cavern of Souls. They probably have Drowner here, which is still pretty annoying. Oh, it looks like Smasher. Alright, there's Smasher. Well, I think we're just going to chump Thought Knot. Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, Kitchen Finks seems like a good candidate to be replaced. Oh no, they found Displacer. Things are looking grim again. Opponent attacks with both. Well, let's block Thought Knot. Get back Finks. Play a second Finks. Is Verduran Enchantress good enough for Modern? I think it's borderline. I'm not really excited about it in Modern, personally. So, I have seen builds that play it, but personally I'm not a huge fan of it. $40 for a playset of Foil Pass is awesome. You set your Cavern on Dryad? It's gonna be a long game. Dryad and Druid, they sound the same, but they're actually very different. Do I think Cat Pack is possible in Modern? I mean, it's possible, but it's much harder. I think it's against the odds rather than anything else. And a Sky Spawner. Jeez, our opponent going super wide. Gets in with Reality Smasher. Well, we're going to block with Finks, since we can reset them both anyway. But I don't know if this is going to be enough without us drawing some more action. Well, Township go. Yeah, Gavany's very good, but I don't know if it's good enough in the position we're in. They have something else huge? Oh my goodness. Alright. Big attacks. Well, we're going to double block a Reality Smasher. Our opponent, 1, 2, they can blink it if they really want to. But double block. I know, Sphinx's Tutelage is one of my favorite cards. It is sad to see it goes. Or go. Put counters on everything. Opponent is going to blink by the looks, which I guess is fine. Still, we're taking so much damage. Even gaining 4, we're just still taking so much. We need to draw, I don't even know here. If you don't have audio, try refreshing, because there definitely should be audio. Sad to see it goes. There's the blank. We put counters on everything. Take a beating. Down to 10, up to 12. Ooh. Ooh. What does this mean? Now I actually gotta look at this deck list. Yeah, that might not be the best the best advice. If you don't have audio, I say over the audio, All right, let me look at this deck list. We drew an Eldritch Evolution. The question is there anything we can really do with it that's going to change our fate here? We can get anything from 5-drop or lower. The question is, what would that be? So, options. Sigarda is big. Thragtusk. If we could get 6 or 7 drops, it would be better. So, Sigarda, Archangel. Ooh, wait, do we get a combo? So, all right, help me out, chat. How is this gonna work? Actually, Linvala, unfortunately, is in the sideboard. So if we sack this Kitchen Finks to get Archangel, will the Archangel be on the battlefield when this Finks comes back into play? It should be, right? And then it will put counters on everything. Reset this Finks. Is that what would happen here? Maybe. Thragtusk, Archangel, Restoration Angel. I guess the upside of getting Archangel is we could randomly draw a Spike Feeder or a way to get Spike Feeder, and that could win us the game. We could also... Yeah, I think those are our only real options. Eternal Witness doesn't do anything. We don't need more Finks. Alright, I guess that's what we gotta do. Is it worth playing and getting an untapped shock land so we can get voice down? Because that seems also sort of painful. Will the Commander Clash crew explore the powers of Conspiracy 2? Yes, we have to wait for it to come out on Magic Online, though. So we're getting Archangel. The question is, do we shock ourselves so we can play voice first? We'd have to take 3 extra damage. That sounds risky. Or we just... Or we Ghost Quarter the Eldrazi Temple, I guess? No, this isn't really against the odds. It's a deck that won something. If it has no -1 counters on it, but a +1/+1 counter wouldn't affect it. I don't know if we want to Ghost Quarter ourselves here. I guess we could. That also... Ghost Quarter ourselves? Really? Alright. Voice of Resurgence. Ghost Quarter. Oh no. Did I just mess this up? How? What happened? Oh, are you saying I tapped for the wrong color on our fetch land? Oh, okay. I didn't sack the... I tapped a land. I tapped the land before I did it. I intentionally tapped the land. We got a mana floating. So you're saying I literally clicked the wrong... So I tapped the... So I floated mana, and then when I sacked the Ghost Quarter, I clicked the wrong one? Oh my goodness. Are you for real? Oh. Alright, well, we know we want Linvala. I don't know about Eldritch Evolution against this deck. Gifts, maybe. Resto. Well, you picked a good time to stop by, apparently, because something went very wrong there. I'm still not exactly sure what happened. So the problem was that I literally clicked the wrong land with Ghost Quarter, because I know I floated mana there. I know we did. I know that that's true. Well, I'm glad you love the punning. I don't know if Iona, I wish you could name colorless. That would be sweet. Should be able to. Sundering Titan, thank you for the follow. Yeah, that's kind of a really mana-intensive way to mess with Displacer, but maybe. What do we not want? Blade Splicer is kind of okay. Linvala is one of our best cards. Anafenza isn't that exciting. Sigarda's big. I don't know if it's that great, though. Go down Sigarda. Oh, my goodness. Well, that was pretty bad, then. Shriekmaw, we want. Yeah, I don't think I'm actually going to bring in Spellskite. Go down an Eldritch Evolution. Really painful if we get hit by a Stubborn Denial. I guess that's true. Hexproof is nice. We're also running out of time here. Maybe we got to stick with 3 gifts. Alright, let's go like this. Yeah, we were in a very losing position there. Punt montage? That could be funny. I'll have to consider that. Maybe a punt highlight video is a good idea. Yeah, alright. I guess this is fine. Not great. We got a lot of expensive things, but we get a Noble Hierarch into maybe a Reflector Mage, potentially. White. So we want green, black, I guess? Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. And Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn. Yeah, hand's not bad. A bit expensive, but not bad. Yeah, Eldrazi Temple is still pretty good. They made the deck less consistent, but it's still very good. I think we Reflector Mage essentially anything our opponent plays. Like, if they play a Mana Dork here, I think we're just going to Reflector Mage it. Ooh, and another Path. Well, double Path is not bad. So, Reflector Mage, slow our opponent down a little bit. Anything Ascension in this stream in the future? Maybe. We did videos on it before. So, there are videos on the YouTube channel. There's Eldrazi Temple, of course. Ancient Stirrings. Probably finds another Eldrazi Temple. Alright, I floated white off Godless Shrine, then Ghost Quartered the Temple Garden. Alright, I think the problem was with the Ghost Quartering. I was intending to Ghost Quarter the other one. Alright, get in with Reflector Mage. Put our opponent to 15, pass the turn. I'm tempted almost to just path our own stuff to get lands, but that seems really bad. Digested Gumbo, thank you for the follow. What do I think of Young Pyromancer and Thing Ascension? Kind of a no-bo with Thing in the Ice is the big problem. Punt montage for April Fool's Day? Seems like a good day for it. I like that idea. Here's the thought knot. Alright. Well, we let this go, because even if they take a path, we can still path. Feels like we're actually in decent shape here. Our opponent might just have to take a fatty, like a Grave Titan or something. But leaving us with 2 paths is pretty bad. Yeah, punting was probably plus EV in that game. It just saved us some time, because we honestly were not going to win that game. The odds of it were very small. Alright, takes the Grave Titan. So, we are just going to path this Thought Knot. Draw a card. We get a Worm Coil. Well, Watery Grave, untapped. Get in with Reflector Mage. And pass the turn. The Dude, thank you for the follow. If you do a punt reel for April Fools, have to call it the best MTG moments of all time. I like that idea. What else does our opponent have? Reality Smasher. Well, I think we take it here and just pump up our team. That's true. April Fool's is a long ways away. Well, let's get in with our Reflector Mage. Put our opponent to 8. Siege Rhino. Put our opponent to 5. And now we have the option to path if we need to. We can path, and I don't think we're going to get to discard casting Elesh Norn in this game. So it might not be the end of the world if we have to path discard Elesh Norn. Dress in a football uniform to introduce the punt video. Alright, I'll see about it. Maybe I can get Chris Cluey to do it. Whoa, Tamio, are you for real? That's a thing that's happening in Modern? Eldrazi? You gotta be kidding. Going to tap down 2 of our creatures. Blaze an Eldrazi Temple. Oh, so what do we do here? Do we just hit the Reality Smasher, I guess? Oh! Our stuff does not untap. We draw another path, though. Alright. Let's just pass the turn. Pass the turn. Well, we have the option to kill Displacer again now. And our opponent can only Tameo twice, so they're going to run out of Tameo action. I think Wizards thinks that they are important for the story. Planeswalkers, so I think that's just kind of the focus of Magic at the moment. Yeah, Displacer's not going to do much right now. Oh, God. Well, now we probably got to get rid of it. Evening, Greg. So, Displacer down. Opponent's got 1 card in hand. They do get a Drowner. Tameo, if they're going to tick it down, this has got to be their last ticking down of it. Or they tick it up to draw a card. Make it all Planeswalker set? That would be interesting. I just had Path to Exile on the mind because we just drew it. I don't think we can Path the Reflector Mage. Our opponent's stuff is just scary enough that we can't really afford to use a path on our own creatures, unfortunately. Yeah, the new Chandra, it seems very overpriced at the moment. $60 is just way too much for that, in my opinion. Well, let's see what our opponent decides to do. My favorite walker is actually, my number one favorite is actually Venser. Alright, opponent ticks up on their own stuff. Attacks with Noble Hierarch. Well, we will block Noble Hierarch. Our opponent does get to draw a card, unfortunately. Finkel's Legacy and All Storm set. That's a good idea. I like Storm. A lot of other people don't like broken mechanics as much as I do. Opponent passes. Ooh. What does this mean? What do we do now? This is very interesting. Oh, I have some ideas for Kaladesh against the odds, but I haven't really made deck lists yet. Gotta wait to see more of the set. Alright, let's Siege Rhino attack our opponent. Alright, they're going to tap our Siege Rhino. Tap our Reflector Mage. So, no attacks. Well, I guess we go for it here. Eldritch Evolution, man, we're so gonna get blown out by that. Stubborn Denial. Do they have Stubborn Denial? No. Well, I think what we're doing then is I think we are... Oh, man. Sigarda seems so good. With Sigarda, they literally have Sky Spawner. They have to literally have Sky Spawner or they can't... Resto Blink is actually pretty reasonable. It untaps our Siege Rhino, puts our opponent to 1. That actually shuts off their colorless mana? No, it doesn't. Geez, we have some good options, but what is the right option? Resto Blink, Linvala, Shriekmaw gets rid of the Drowner. Sigarda seems so close to being awesome. Alright. Well, we'll put our opponent to the test. Do you have a Sky Spawner opponent, or are you dead to Sigarda? They are going to be able to draw a card from Drowner. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of ways for us to lose from here. It's pretty much Sky Spawner or we win. I think that's their only card in the deck that can block it. They can get a redraw with their Tamiyo. And we can't block the Drowner. Just grab birds. They can't tap Sigarda. Sigarda, the awesomeness of it is flying hexproof and spells and abilities your opponent's control can't cause you to sack permanents. It was basically the ultimate answer for Liliana back in the day. So our opponent's going to get their redraw. Do they find Eldrazi Sky Spawner? That is the question. They get a draw. Down to 6. What do you got, opponent? What do you have? Yeah, I guess Worldbreaker, if it's in their deck, would do it. Can you block a flyer? And it works! Sigarda getting the job done. Oh, man, these Eldrazi matchups have all been so close. We've done much better after sideboarding. Eldritch Evolution was actually good there. If you're having screen flickering, set the quality to source. If you go down to the bottom, there's a little gear icon. Set it to source, and you should have no flickering. That's the secret that we have learned. I don't think Saheeli is very good. What does Gaddock Teague stop? I guess it stops Tamiyo, but that's about it, I think. You can get the deck list for any of the decks we're playing by just doing exclamation point deck. Well, we're mainly using gifts to Unburial Rites into Elesh Norn, Grave Titan, stuff like that. Do we even want to change anything? The screen is flashing green? That's a new one. Elesh Norn is not bad. It shuts down Scion tokens, which are actually pretty annoying. Sky Spawner. It shuts down Noble Hierarch, Matter Reshapers. So it actually does do a decent amount. We could find a way to go up the 4th gift. Is it pointless to play? I think we might just run it back like this. I think the setup actually is not bad. No, I don't think you can play Deploy in a 13 Planeswalker deck. There's actually, if you look up Frank Karsten, he did an article breaking down all the math on it. So you need to really be up around 19 to 21 Planeswalkers to be able to hit 2 of them like 75% of the time. At 13, I think you would, odds are, get 1 Planeswalker, most likely. But check out that article if you want the actual numbers. Opponent, Saxon Windswept Heath, gets a Breeding Pool. This hand is interesting. Let's just Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. This is actually a pretty good opener. I'm pretty happy with this hand. And our opponent hasn't played a stupid Eldrazi Temple yet. Thank you, Angel. That is the article. Frank Karsten is one of my favorite Magic writers, so if you're not familiar with Frank, he's a good person to keep up on. Ooh, and an Eldritch Evolution. Well, Pluto Delta, go. We might be able to set up gifts here, actually. We're a little slow. Yeah, I don't really, at this point, I'm not super worried about Noble Hierarch. I'd rather just kill the real threats. Ooh, Tamiyo? Good God. That's actually really bad. So to not... Do I have to path an Eldrazi Sky Spawner? See you, Mikester. Thanks for hanging out. November Frost, thank you for the follow. How does it beat Soul Sisters? I actually did not play it against Soul Sisters. That's a good question. It might not, I guess. Man, pathing this feels so bad. But letting them draw 2 cards also feels bad. Yeah, I guess we got to. Man, that is bad. Oh, so painful. So our opponent gets a free land, still gets to draw a card. Now maybe we will end up Shriek Mawing this Hierarch. Just, I guess it can't attack. Maybe we Shriek Maw this Scion token? Everything feels bad here. Black, white, we need what? Blue mana? So get a Breeding Pool, I think. Ooh, we drew another path? Another path is actually pretty interesting. This hand is so slow, though. Alright, Godless Shrine, untapped. Evoke a Shriekmaw. Kill the Scion. I think killing the Scion's fine. If our opponent wants to draw cards with Tamiyo, they're going to have to attack with Noble Hierarch. So they don't have the mana. So our opponent pluses on Noble Hierarch. Goes to combat. Alright. Path Noble Hierarch. Our opponent might actually just ultimate Tamiyo, which is also pretty bad. Oh, we wasted 3 cards to kill a Mana Dork and an Eldrazi Sky Spawner. That was pretty bad. Tamiyo getting close to ultimating, of course. Oh no! Rest in peace! Our opponent is actually going to ultimate Tamiyo, and we're going to lose because of it. They have all their sideboard cards. I'm not going to scoop, but what do we do? Do we have anything we can do? I guess we just pass and gifts? I mean, we can play birds, and if we draw land, then we can well, Tamiyo isn't ultimating yet. We could play birds. We can't Eldritch Evolution right away. Yeah, I think that's the right play. I think we just have to play a birds and pass. And if we draw land, we can Gavany Township to hit the Tamiyo if our opponent doesn't have anything. I mean, Tamiyo Ultimate is not guaranteed loss. It's not 100%. Oh no. Do they seriously have Drowner? Oh my goodness. Yep. So that's bad. Now they also have Drowner. Takes up Tamiyo. I don't think there's anything that we can gifts into here. Or Eldritch Evolution into. Well, that's true, we can't. We can't Eldritch Evolution. We can gifts. Let's gifts. And I think we're gifting for lands here. I think is our best bet to get 4 lands. So we'll get, let's see. Misty Rainforest, Marsh Flats, Verdant, jumping around on us, Verdant Catacombs, and Polluted Delta. Just go fetch land gifts. We don't have a 1/1 though. We have a 0/1. Birds does not have power, unfortunately. And we can't activate Township, unfortunately, either. Oh, what was the question that I missed? I mean, there is technically an out. Like, our opponent draws 3 cards and gets an Omniscience, but they could draw, like, 2 lands and a Matter Reshaper or something, and we're still technically in the game. It's not over. We get a Grave Titan next turn, and we have another Gifts. Like, Tamio's ultimate is good. Yes, I'm sorry. I do miss on occasion the chat. And they don't even go for ultimate. They just kick up. Tick up, go attacking. Alright, we take our beats. Our opponent gets to draw cards. Not good, but we're not dead. Down to 8. Is this Matter Reshaper? Okay, not Displacer. Temple Garden, tapped. Well, crack Polluted Delta. Get a Watery Grave. Play Misty, crack Misty. We have double black, right? Yes. Get a Forest. Well, we're going to cast a Grave Titan. I don't think it's going to win us the game, but we are going to get one. Is there a way to subscribe or directly support the stream? It's my first year of law school, and I really like watching stream to relax. Well, thank you for watching. That is awesome of you. Right now, we are technically not partnered with Twitch. So that's something that will hopefully happen eventually. Has not happened yet. So right now, the best ways to support the stream are to... Path. So I think we're dead now, actually. Yeah, we're dead. Alright. Oh, the disappointment is so crushing. Oh, so disappointing. Anyway, before I got on a tangent about disappointment. So, the best ways to support the stream right now is we have some merchandise, playmats, t-shirts. That's one way. Also, if you're looking for a direct comparison to subscribing on Twitch, There is a link below where you can get premium through the website, MTG Goldfish. The sign up for premium to support the stream link. It's essentially the same as signing up or subbing through Twitch, except it's actually helps the stream even more because Twitch doesn't actually take a cut of it. Plus, it helps you more because you actually get some benefits on the website. If you have a Magic collection, Magic Online collection, the collection management stuff is really sweet. So there are some benefits to you as well, beyond just the stream. So those are the best ways. Thanks for the follow, Razzo82 and Baron Frankenstein. Ultimate Tamio last week, but it didn't work out too well. Yeah, that was so bad. I mean, it was so sweet, but it was so bad. I would have done the same thing again, though. Like, it was worth it. Yeah, it's officially 2-1 now. Well, thank you, Future. And good luck in law school. It sounds like a lot of work, so... Vex, thank you for the follow. Could we get you to stream more? So, Kato Kid, the problem with that is I just am so busy with the stuff I do that it's hard to find time for more streaming is the main problem. Like, Budget Magic, Against the Odds, Commander Clash, Much Brew About Nothing, plus the articles in the instant deck text and 2 streams. I just don't have that much time, like physical time, to do additional streams at the moment. So it could happen in the moment that we get more streams in the schedule. I am the least Scroogey person that's ever been attached to MTG Finance. I don't even like to consider myself part of MTG Finance anymore, but I was never a Scroogey MTG Finance person. Yeah, we might do a draft league on Thursday for the stream. Yeah, more streamers is a possibility. Tomer has mentioned doing a Commander stream, but it takes a while for Tomer to get going on things. Tomer is slow. So there's a chance that a Commander stream would be a thing in the future, but who knows when it would actually happen. Draft leagues start after downtime tomorrow, Little Planeswalker. So there's a decent chance that we will try them out for the Thursday stream. Possibly. Not sure. If there's a really sweet deck to play, then maybe not, but there's a good chance that we will. Alright, Windswept Heath. Crack Windswept Heath. What is this deck we're against? This is like blue-red Prowess? Is that really a thing that they do in Modern? I don't think it would be Commander Clash. No, I didn't mean slow in an offensive way. He just takes him a while to do things. Like, if you knew Tomer, he has, like, I don't know. At one point, he had, like, 5 or 6 half-finished budget Commander articles that were, like, half-written, but he was playing, like, Fallout or something, so it took him forever to actually finish any of them. So that's what I meant, is I think that it could happen eventually, but I wouldn't count on it happening right away, because it takes Tomer a while to actually get off of Fallout or whatever game he's playing at the time. Yes, he is. Are we just gonna, like, die to these Prowess things? Opponent probes. This is a weird deck. Why would you play this when you could play the Pyromancer Ascension thing in the ice deck? That just seems better. I guess I mean, I don't think we're dead here, are we? Are they really gonna kill us? What's the worst thing they can do? Give double strike to Storm Chaser? We can chump with Blade Splicer. on Swiftspear. And they've hit themselves a lot. Yeah, this deck, Wow, the old Storm Chaser after you cast all your spells plan. Swings with everything. Well, thank you, Goose. Goosalug. So let's block Swiftspear. Down to 11. Let's draw something good here. Ooh, Archangel Athune is almost good. I think this means we just Temple Garden and pass. Yeah, I'm sure they drew the Storm Chaser afterwards. It just looks bad when you like storm off and play a bunch of spells with your Prowess creatures and then play. Really, Vapor Snag, of all the things that you could have, Vapor Snag, or seriously, opponent. Well, I guess we just path a Storm Chaser. And then we hope that somehow this Archangel just wins us the game. Ooh. Well, Elvish Norn is a ways away. So Vapor Snags and so forth just beat us. But we get to slam a Archangel and see what happens. Are we really going to get out-janked? Please, no. I can deal with losing, but getting out-janked, that's... Oh, no, my goodness. Mono Vapor Snag dot hand. Oh, my goodness. Well, I don't even think this is a bad matchup. I just think... we had a really bad hand for this matchup. Jeez. Oh, my God. Well, that was fun. Well, we get Spellskite. We get Eidolon of Rhetoric. I kind of just want to Iona them, because that seems like a blowout. And Ioning people is about as good as it gets. I don't even know. We're playing against Blue-Red Prowess? A deck that I don't know. I think maybe someone entered the Modern queue with their standard deck from, like, last winter. Yeah, we're going to try to Iona our opponent. Sigarda actually is pretty good. Resto, Rexage, Finks is probably fine-ish. Well, Snapcaster was in Standard a while ago. Voice, Spellskite, Caryatid, Ooze. Yeah, I know. I was kind of joking. Go down Blade Splicer. Thalia is actually good. Keep our combos. Yeah, the fast lands are going to be awesome. Oh, Jay Zoller. Not you now, too. Are you turning into Chaz? Oh, geez. 650 to fix your car? That is rough. Do I think that modern UR Delver would be competitive at an FNM level with 3 main deck Blood Moons? You can sell me on just about anything being competitive at a FNM with 3 main deck Blood Moons. Just 3 main deck Blood Moons and 57 Mountains would probably win some percentage of games at the FNM level. We gotta cut one more thing, but what is it? Yeah, maybe a Finks. Alright, let's try it like this. Yeah, but I want to Iona them. It is slow, but if we can Iona, I don't even care. We don't want to win. We want to demoralize our opponent so they feel like they can't win in game 3. Oh my goodness. This hand scoops to bolt so hard. So incredibly hard. And bolt seems like something they would play. Oh no, the old Iona in the hand. Alright. Forest, birds, go. Yeah, I think we're going to play modules on against odds. It'll definitely be on the poll. What's up, Riptide? Alright, whoever said we probably shouldn't keep in Iona was probably correct. This is Life After 105, the Weisiger remix. Or by Weisiger, maybe it's on a remix. Alright, Polluted Delta, go. Oh, Iona getting snagged would make me cry. There's a Storm Chaser Mage. Yeah, I'm not looking at them as probably being competitive. It would be cool, though. So green, we'll just get blue-white here. All right, down to 18. Now, Verdant Catacombs, crack Verdant Catacombs. Get a Swamp. And Kitchen Finks, number 1. Yeah, our opponent's deck is just like Storm Chaser and a bunch of spells, essentially. Monastery Swiftspear. I just don't know what the reason is to play this deck that seems to lose to like Path to Exile and Abrupt Decay when you can play Thing Ascension, which just it doesn't 100% lose to those cards. Alright, another Storm Chaser. And a Thought Scour. Man, I would love to draw a land. Land for Engineered Explosives on 2, and I think we just straight up win. That would be so good. That's what we need. Come on, land. Yes! Alright. So, this should go a long way towards us winning this game. Oh, man, we're never going to cast this Iona. Never, ever. Alright, Island. Greetings from the U.S. to Decor. Thank you. So, let's Explosives on 2. Get in with the Finks. Yeah, I think with this Explosives, we might actually be winning now. Like, with an Explosives, and then, regardless of what they do, we're just going to blow up their Storm Chasers. And then we get to untap in Kitchen Finks to gain life and get another threat. I mean, that was essentially a one-sided Wrath. Forthosian Jank. See you on Thursday. Oh, it is a Delver deck. Oh, double Delver? Ooh. Well, that's a little scary if they flip Delver. Ooh, Eternal Witness. Let's get in with Kitchen Finks. We actually don't have the mana for Eternal Witness, unfortunately. Play another Kitchen Finks. We don't have the second green mana, or I would. We only got one green. Come on, no flip, no flip, no flip. Oh, of course. Delver's flip. Oh, no. Why couldn't they have a land or one of those silly Swift Spears on top of their deck? Do I have an updated deck list for Double Moonwalkers posted somewhere? Actually, I don't know if I do at the moment. I'll have to do that. Forest would be good. The problem is we can't actually kill the Delvers with explosives next turn. Alright, Manamorphose draws our opponent a card. I mean, technically we're ahead in the damage race at the moment, but they probably have burn spells and stuff, and we're not doing anything. They're actually... Oh, they found a Storm Chaser too? Alright. Well, now it's a one-turn clock, and we're essentially, most likely dead. Our opponent hits us for 8. We hit them for 6. Rhino is the card. If we draw a Rhino, then we win. Unfortunately, we only have 2 Rhinos in our deck. If we don't draw a Rhino, a Resto would be decent. And that does it. Oh my goodness. Well, this deck is not feeling very good. We have not put up a good record at all with this deck. We've actually only won a single match, and we've lost to the jankiest of jank there. Actually, I mean, I guess that deck isn't that janky, but... Oh... I think, yeah, the thing is, I mean, I guess it's possible that our opponent had 3 lands, but our opponent also just scryed 2 and put a card to the top, so I don't think they would have scryed a land to the top of their deck. We didn't have a second green source for Eternal Witness, so we couldn't do that, unfortunately. What do I think about Brood Monitor, Eldrazi Displacer, and Ether Stormrock? Sweet. I think it's cool. Probably budget Magic or against the odds more than actual competitive. Hey, look, this hand's actually good. I'm not putting all the blame on the deck. I didn't mean it to come across like that. Maybe it was better to fetch out an untapped land, but then we still would have been dead. Well, you'd probably have to have something to use the energy on. I don't know about this. This seems like it could be a tricky matchup. Although Thalia is actually decent here. Well, let's get Thalia down, slow our opponent down with their non-basics. They don't play many basics, so kind of buys an entire turn-ish. It's your fault, Speed. No. Add red. Bolts the Thalia. We do have a lot of one-ofs, unfortunately. Well, I think we got to just try to win quickly here. Let's get Watery Grave. That might have not been the best fetching. Alright, well, we're gonna get to slam a Grave Titan. There's a Chromatic Star. So, let's see if Grave Titan is enough. Yeah, the music is a little trippy-ish. I guess we can also get in for one. Windswept Heath, crack it. Slam a Grave Titan. Get in with the birds. So let's see if our opponent puts together Tron and finds like an O-ring or something. Or Oblivion Stone, rather. What's up, Snarfgasm? Do you have a favorite card that's been spoiled that isn't Chandra? I really like the Mythic Blue Enchantment. No, it's not great against those things. The question is, can we kill our opponent before they get those things? There's Expedition Map. Alright, so they're going to have it next turn. There's the mine. Yep, we're rooting for no Ugin, no O-Stone. Chromatic Sphere. The problem is we don't really have anything we can even draw to stop that. We do have a single Ghost Quarter. One Ghost Quarter, which is, I mean, something we could draw. It's a possibility. Opponent passes. Oh, awesome, Alex. Yeah, the Myria deck is sweet. That is true. Well, we get in for 10. Is there any point of doing anything? We get back Thalia. Thalia stops some stuff. It doesn't stop like a Karn or Ugin. I guess it stops... What does it stop? Land into like Ulamog? It does stop Wormcoil. I mean, doesn't Ugin wreck us no matter what? Well, the question is, can we stop our opponent from doing something? Like, we do have lethal, but if we can stop something that would prevent lethal... I don't think playing Finks does anything. Well, we definitely play Windswept Heath. We're not going to be Ugin anyway. I think it makes sense to... I think it makes sense to do this. Finks doesn't counter Ugin. It does counter Stone. Alright, let's see. Well, I think playing Thalia helps us beat things that we wouldn't have beat otherwise. If they have Ugin, nothing we would have done would have changed that. And Finks would have gotten exiled anyway with the Ugin. So there was just not really much we could do about that. Ugin was just literally unbeatable there. Not much we can do about it. Well, in all honesty, with all of our stuff exiled, having a Eternal Witness in hand isn't going to change that math. We lose to Ugin no matter what. Like, so there's not really much sense in playing around it. The reason I played Thalia is if they did have a Worm Coil, for example, then Worm Coil would have kept us from winning. Same with Ulamog. If those were the big finisher that they had in hand, then Thalia actually would have done something. Have I seen the new Madcap card? Yeah, the Madcap card is really sweet. It does some really cool stuff. I don't know if it's going to be great, but it does some cool stuff. You need to pray harder, Penga. Alright, opponent cracks it. Bolts our Finks. Yeah, that combo's cool. I don't think it's tier 1 with Platinum Empyrean, but it is pretty sweet. Alright. Get another land in case we draw. Like, a Worm Coil could be an out here if our opponent had 0 cards in hand. It's like a weird artifact polymorph type card. You get to reveal cards from your library until you find an artifact. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, yeah, we weren't gonna beat that. It's unfortunate that they had Ulamog, because we could have beaten Ugin potentially. All right. The scarier thing about this matchup is it's like we didn't even. I mean, we got Terastodon, I guess, is good. That's our thing. More gifts to try to maximize the potential of Terastodon. Mind Sensor can shut down some tutoring, maybe. Rexage kind of does something. Teague, if it lives. So these are the cards that kind of do things. Also stuff a little bit. So what do we take out for these cards? Scavenging Ooze seems really horrible. Voice, I guess, is okay-ish. Blade Splicers, not super exciting. Reflector Mage, I could see possibilities in that. Anafenza, Elish Norn. Yeah, Terastodon kind of takes Elish Norn's place. We gotta cut one more? I guess we can cut a Kitchen Finks. I guess the other question is, do we want more Eldritch Evolutions, which might also be good? If we can go from like 2 to 4 to 6 to Terastodon, boom. Good game. I don't really like Eidolon. Turn 2 Anafenza is pretty sweet, but as a one-of, I don't know. I think it's more for the graveyard hating abilities. I mean, I guess we can go down Finks and bring in Something like that. Alright. Come on, Terastodon! Save us! You're literally our only hope. Alright, we get to play first. Alright, I mean, we're on the play. We're on the play. We got a gifts. We got the combo. We even have our single Ghost Quarter. So I think this is the hand. If there's a hand that's going to do it, it's probably this one. So Windswept Heath, go. Urza's Tower, and egg. Crack Windswept Heath. White, blue, get Overgrown Tomb, I guess. Ooh, and a Mind Sensor. Alright, Hallowed Fountain, untapped, and get some pressure down with our Voice of Resurgence. And pass. We'll see. This next turn is going to be a big one to see if our opponent has a Tron land, a non-tower Tron land. If they stumble for one turn, then I think we got a shot. But if we have to, like, Ghost Quarter next turn and play off curve, then it's a little scarier. Alright, Sax Chromatic Star, Ancient Stirrings. Come on, Urza's Tower. What do they find? Oh, a second tower? Oh, Urza's mine. And Chromatic Star. Can we risk it? We probably have to. Alright, get in with Voice. I think we have to risk it. It slows us down so much. If they have Natural Tron, we know they hit another tower. Alright. Well, there's a power plant. Cracks Chromatic Star. Ancient Stirrings. This might still be okay. They didn't play a big threat, though, so it kind of makes it alright. Expedition map. Well, I mean, we get to Mind Sensor. Do we fizzle it completely? They get another tower. They grabbed the expedition map off the latest one. Ooh, that actually works. So let's attack with both. We're actually kind of in good shape now. Or like reasonable shape. Hit our opponent. Play a Thalia. Ghost Quarter. They led on mine. Mine was their first land, I believe. Oh, mine was their last one. Yeah, we'll hit mine. And we have the Mind Sensor out. Come on, no land. Oh, sweet. We actually stopped them. All right. All right. We're good-ish. So even if they have the Tron piece, it's going to come into play tapped, and they don't. They have Grove. All right. This might be doing it. So Township, attack with everything. We might be getting there because now we can gifts for Terastodon to blow up some Tron pieces. I think I might be getting there. Opponent probably has a Pyroclasm. They're gonna bolt our Thalia. All right, bolt Thalia. Forest. Bolt's Aven Mind Sensor. Alright, well, sorry opponent, but you're about to get wrecked. It's not guaranteed lethal to play Resto. It would put our opponent to 1. I guess we could have blinked something, but they do have colorless removal spells that could potentially ruin that plan, and then they play a Ugin and we lose. So gifts and Terastodon. No, not gifts. I almost misclicked there. Unburial Rites in Terastodon. Going to the graveyard. And our opponent scoops it up. Resto may have won the game. Plus, seriously, how often have you wanted to blow up all of Tron's lands? Have you ever played against Tron? Their lands are pretty unfair. So, just once, even if it's not the right play, I think the right thing to do is just to blow up all of Tron's lands. You probably, I would assume if you watch me play in videos and stream, and I guess this is kind of a weakness to my game if the idea is to be super competitive, but I do tend to try to make sweet plays sometimes over what is probably the more optimal play. So, I don't know. That's just me. I would rather do something cool sometimes. And in these situations, it's not like we're giving up much. Like, yeah, maybe it takes us an extra turn to win, but I don't think it really matters. I think we would have won either way. So if we're like 95% to win either way, we might as well win the cool way. That's another good point, Dark Brews. Terastodon is always optimal. This hand is very not optimal. Oh god. Worth, really? Worth. Oh my god, Worth. Alright, we got to scry into green mana. No. Oh boy. Well, we need to draw a green land into another land for gifts. Well, alright, there's a start. Now we're kinda live. So if we just draw a land and our opponent doesn't just have natural Tron on turn 3. Oh god. Oh god. Well, we weren't gonna win this game anyway. won by mulliganing? We had to mulligan that. I'm pretty sure. It's not going to matter, though, because our opponent has... Oh, we even got it, too. So, we're just a little bit too slow. Alright. I guess we could. Man, that seems brutal. But maybe that's the right play. Is that what we just have to do now? It slows us down so much. It turns all of our mana off. No, we don't really have a good sideboard for Tron. I mean, Gaddock Teague sorta does something-ish. Alright, I guess. I guess that's the best we got. Oh, we don't have land destruction. Alright. Boom. Nice Ugin you got over there, opponent. Now you can't fireball us. Fireball off limits. It has X in it. Alright, well, Sylvan Carry added. Gavany Township, get in with Gaddock Teague. There's actually some really weird way we could win this game. If our opponent can't do anything for a couple turns. Chromatic Sphere. Because we're back to the same place we were last game, where if we live 2 more turns, we can Gifts into Terastodon? Actually, no, we can't. Because of Gaddock Teague. Combo off. So I guess we just need mana for Wormcoil. Our opponent's trying to cast a Karn into Gaddock Teague. Realizing, not gonna work. Well, there's Windswept Teeth. Alright, Windswept Teeth, crack Windswept Teeth. Get a Hallowed Fountain. The problem is we can't Gifts for it, is the problem. Because Gifts is a non-creature spell with converted mana cost of 4 or greater. But what we can do is pump up the jams. 3/3 Gaddock Teague. So we're just hoping our opponent is like Ugin and Karn flooded. What are the odds? Their end is just mono Ugins. Oh no. There's Oblivion Stone. We draw a path. Well, let's get in with Gaddock Teague. Put our opponent to 12. Pass the turn. There could still be a way out of this. It's not likely. Alright, so... let's... Path... Let's pass Sylvan Carry added. I think it's better to path Carry added because we could get Teague back with Eternal Witness. Get an island, pass the turn. And see what our opponent has. So we have Gifts online now. There's Karn. Let's see what our opponent does with it. This makes it harder. Now we have to peel a land for it to work. Come on, land! Alright, grab Trastodon. This is a Visigr song. Get Trastodon, get on Burial Rites. And what else does our opponent have? Yeah, getting a Plains-Air probably would have been better. Seems like a lot of the problems that I've had with this deck would be not getting the right land sometimes. Sylvan Scrying gets a tower. Well, we got bailed out. Marsh Flats, crack it. Get a Temple Garden, I guess. Temple Garden untapped. On Burial Rites. On Trastodon. And we know they have a tower in hand, so I think we have to go Power Plant, Karn. And pass. So we got a little lucky to get the land there. Oh, no! You gotta be kidding me. Oh, are you for real? I play for fun sometimes. Oh, my goodness. TDLR, or TLDR is it doesn't delusional kraut. Actually, the big issue is figuring out the fetching and stuff. It also seems slow. It seems pretty slow. What's the punt now? If the punt has to do with hitting the power plants, I would like to hear about why I should not have picked power plant. That's what I'm curious about. It's not over, but the problem is they're gonna ultimate Ugin, and that's pretty bad. And they have Sanctum. Because they can just tick up Ugin and then double chump unless we draw something. How would we know he had one in hand? I mean, I guess, yeah, in retrospect it was kind of a punt, but we had no way of knowing. We knew they had a tower in hand, but... Ultimate Ugin is so bad. Our opponent's gonna attack? What is happening? Yeah, Eldritch Evolution or Resto would be our best draws. That is true. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the plan. He's going to shoot down Wormcoil, and then they have, like... They must have Oblivion Stone or something. And our opponent scoops it up. Oh my god. I do not know how we won that match. I have no idea what's happening. No idea. Oh, so this deck, takeaway number one, probably the most important takeaway is if you decide to play this deck, actually put in some games with it, because there's actually a lot of choices that you have to make that in most decks aren't all that important. But when it comes down to like your fetching, tons of tutor effects. So if you decide to play this deck, definitely run through some matches with it. Picking it up in the dark and just running through a league with it on stream, definitely one of the more challenging decks to do that with, having not really played it before. Because there's a lot of stuff that's I'm sure that you improve at the more you play the deck. And yes, hope your opponent scoop for no reason as early as possible. But yeah, so I mean, it was alright. There's some clunkiness, and there's a lot of one-ofs, so it feels a little like a commander deck. But I mean, we ended up 2-1. We played a lot of close matches through every single game. Our wins were close, our losses were close. In every single match, the only one that wasn't close was that weird blue-red Prowess deck, which we just kind of got ran over somehow by that weird deck. But otherwise, every game was super close and right down to the end. And if we fetch better and I was more experienced with the deck, might have pulled out another win out of it. So I'm sure the deck can be improved, but it's pretty sweet and definitely something that needs to be practiced before you run it through a tournament. But anyway, I think that's the stream for tonight. So tonight, make sure to check the site. I'm pretty sure tonight there's a special article coming out that may or may not have something to do with Kaladesh. So keep an eye out for that. There's Playing Pauper coming out tonight, tomorrow, Against the Odds, and it is a super sweet one. Very fun and excited with how that one turned out. And then, of course, we'll be back on Thursday for some more streaming. Not sure what we're streaming. Maybe one of the new draft leagues, maybe Constructed, something weird and wacky and janky, but no Momir tonight. Most likely on Thursday we'll get in a game of Momir. We're already pushing the 10 o'clock point tonight. So anyway, everyone, thanks so much for hanging out. It was awesome. Make sure to head back on Thursday. Check out the site in between. In the meantime, you can check out this stream on the replay channel. It'll be up tomorrow, I believe, or later tonight, something like that. And if you're looking to support the stream, Playmats can subscribe for premium on Goldfish. That would be awesome of you. But mostly, thanks for hanging out. It's a ton of fun. Anyway, thanks again, everyone, and I will see you on Thursday.